This is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. Today let's look at a nice way to weave in yarn tails so that they disappear and don't unravel. You can do this with a yarn needle, and there are quite a few acceptable methods, but this time I'm going to show you a way to do it with a latch tool. A latch tool is something that machine knitters use, but even if you hand or frame knit, you might like to buy one to have on hand for this nifty technique. Let's have a look at how to weave a yarn tail in. I could take this tail and thread it into a yarn needle, work the yarn needle in and out of this fabric, and I frequently do, but since I have a latch tool handy, a latch tool is like a slender metal crochet hook with a gate on it that will catch the stitch. I'll show you another way to do it. I'll start at some distance away from the beginning of my yarn tail and start working my latch tool in and out of the backs of stitches. What I want to avoid is having this latch tool emerge on the front of the knitting. See, you can't see the metal. That's because I want my yarn tail to be buried into the back of the fabric so it doesn't come undone, and yet it doesn't ever show either. Now I grab a hold of it, and here's where the gate on the latch tool is so great. Give it a tug. And at this point, I can either bury this some more or just snip it off. It is not really inclined to go anywhere. And voila, it has disappeared. Let's do it again with this other tail. Some people, including me if I'm in a hurry, bury both yarn tails at the same time, pulling them through together. There's nothing really wrong with it, but you can imagine that having twice as much yarn in the same place is more likely to make a bump. So that's the only reason I would caution against it. And of course it matters how thick is your yarn, whether that's really an issue that you'll notice at all. Okay, I have to push past my little handle. A latch tool is something machine knitters use, but also bulky latch tools are available easily at the craft store because a rug latch hook is basically the same thing. All gone. That one's gone. And I have a couple more up here. One of these I had dropped a stitch and I repaired it and caught it and tied it off. So let's bury. In this case, because one end is rather short, I think I will grab them both together. Make sure that the gate closes around both. Pull it through. No problem on the right side. And here is the tail that I gathered with, and I'd already started to weave it in. So I'm going to do it a little bit more, moving the opposite direction from how I started going down the hat. Now I'm going to go kind of up and around the crown a little bit. Let's do one more little catching it. And now I can snip this. Besides looking good, these yarn tails are unlikely to ever emerge and start unraveling. And oops, that's a snipping. But you really can't see very much sign of them once it's done. Happy knitting, and bye now.